And so I'm gonna be real here. Corporate life is taking its toll on my personality, my day-to-day personal life, and it's starting to become a bit more overwhelming than what I had expected. But all the issues that I am facing, the number one issue that I should correct and that I'm trying to correct actively is projecting my voice. And so what does that mean? And why did I get into this scenario? I think for the most part, I grind and I am in my own bubble. I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of work on my laptop. I always spend a lot of time myself. And so that in turn translates into me not seeing well, me not enunciating words correctly, me speaking way too fast, which I probably am right now. I'm subconsciously speaking a bit slower to, get the words out correct. So how did I get into this situation? Well, I think it's the years that I've been working and focusing in my own world without having a lot of social life, which is fine with me. But now one of the consequences that I don't speak well, what I've been told is that my voice, when I say something, it's mainly noise and not easy to make out as words. And so when I'm in these meetings, I try to my best to enunciate. And the task here is, or what I'm trying to do subconsciously to get my thoughts across coherently, is physically what I do is I try to slow down and I try to exaggerate, I should say, my mouth in a way where I'm pronouncing these words correct and actively trying to slow down. I use hand gestures to try to get my composure in check. I stand up or I sit up straight and I make sure I project from my diaphragm or stomach and not through my throat, because that's where you start to get drier. And so all of this is so the task here is I'm trying to activate my point across through coherent and audible words, and it's hard because I've been trying to get better at this. So what have I been doing to get my speaking better? Well, lots of practice, especially when I have to present a certain topic. It is a bit harder to think at the same time and try to actively get yours across. Projecting your voice is the idea here, right? And it's harder because you have to dedicate your mental energy into getting voice correctly formed and also speaking on the spot. So one will give that I've seen, and it leads to horrible or bad communication. And so that's the issue that I've been dealing with. When you're in this world, it's all about trying to get your point across and trying to get others to see point. But then again, people aren't as collaborative, and it's also a sign of that you're not ready, right? I've been in this world for quite a bit, and for the most part, I do have my meetings. I do have certain arguments with certain people, and it starts to get heated. But I think it starts to become a question of, is this person ready? Is this person grounded, or is this person still struggling and still trying to? I think after 4 years of being in the world, I would say I'm definitely still learning. Some other people are struggling other things while I'm struggling. Maybe as trivial when I really shouldn't be. But then again, I think the idea here is that we're all growing, we're all still learning, we're also trying the best person as possible. At least that's my interpretation of how to try to keep lives. Like me, I want to say. So what are the results of my actions? Well, the results of my actions is a couple of things. I think the result is people understanding me better, and I have seen that result. I think all it took for me is to speak slower, exaggerate the of my and projecting from that, because it all gets harder and it should get a bit complicated when you get into screaming. So if you also have this issue and you have taken some steps to get this rectified, then let me know what you have done to get this better controlled. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get my voice across, and I think YouTube has been really has been really effective. I'm trying to project, trying to get my point across. I'm trying to practicing and see where it goes. All right, then, fellas.
Right now it's growing, and then we have 12 honest. We have 12 honest right now, and then we got
I got the baggies. I got the baggies.
yeah baggies.